Yes, good morning, children. I'm here to tell you about your 10th class social science. That in my previous lecture, we started this chapter power sharing. In that, I explained about the two examples. One is Belgium and second is this Sri Lanka. In Belgium, there was accommodation, and I taught you accommodation how Belgium have accommodated power sharing by four methods, 4 points, right? And today I am going to teach you majoritarianism in Sri Lanka. This is imaginary. It seems to be like Sri Lanka. If we talk about the location of Sri Lanka, it is towards the southern of India, right? Like a bag in the southern east side of India. It is like a bag hanging behind India, right? And we usually say this. And there were also in previous lecture I told you one word, that is ethnic composition. Ethnic composition, hopefully you remember that. It means there are different type of religion, there exist different type of caste as well as the languages. Mean to say cultural differences are to be called ethnic composition. Culturally, when we talk about language, religion, caste, color, creeds, like that. When ultimately when we studied about Belgium, you have seen that they have accommodated. But here is story somewhat reverse. People of Sri Lanka, their ethnic composition was something like that. Sinhalas were living there. Sinhala is the community that were living there. Sri Lankan Tamils were there, Indian Tamils were there, Muslims were there, and Christians were also there. Right, approximately 7% people belong to Christianity. Then Muslims were also somewhat, these dots represent Muslims, and these were the Sinhalas, most of the community. And here was also Sinhalas. I mean to say, Sinhalas were there in more in number. Approximately 74% population of Sri Lanka was Sinhalas. Among that, there was a division that there were these were Tamils, right? Some were Sri Lankan Tamils and some were Indian Tamils, because that portion was acquainted with India, southern India, right? Southern and western India. Among them, that it was total 18%. 18% people were Tamil speakers. They were speaking Tamil language. Among them, 13% was Sri Lankan Tamils and 5% was Indian Tamils. Sri Lankan Tamils were 13% and 5% were Indian Tamils. So in this way, this was the whole soul ethnic composition of Sri Lanka. Ethnic composition of Sri Lanka. Sinhalas, Sri Lankan Tamils, Indian Tamils, Muslims, Christianity. And when we talk about majority, it was Sinhalas. Now, this is all about the location and ethnic composition of Sri Lanka. What happens? It happens that you have to see that it happens there. Sri Lanka is a small country like the state of Punjab, India, or Haryana in India, that much size of this country, and people living there having this type of ethnic composition. This country got independence in 1948, but unfortunately there was a civil war in the country. Civil war, 1956. There was a civil war in Sri Lanka. What was the reason behind this war? Very clear when we talk about different ethnic communities, ethnic composition, when they were not agreed, these Sinhalas were in majority, right? Sinhalas were in majority. They wanted that other community should follow the rules and regulations set up by them only. But they have set up the rules and regulation in such a way that they represent themselves only, not the other community that are existing in Sri Lanka simultaneously. That was also there. So in this way, there was issue of religion, and issue of language. That's why there was a civil war when different people within the country start fighting, start quarreling, start having different type of disputes upon these two issues. One is religion and second is language. What was the issue? That the people who were in majority, Sinhalas, 74% people were in majority. They wanted that other communities should follow the rules and regulation whatsoever favor them only. They give the option, right? What option was given? That you have to adopt Buddhism, right? And you have to speak Sinhala language. Only then you can stay in Sri Lanka. But other communities were not ready to see that. They want to adopt their own religion. As earlier we have discussed that there were Muslims were also, Christians were there, and these Tamils, they belong to Hindu community also. And that was the major issue. No, they used to speak these other languages also, but these Sinhalas have given them some declaration was made by that government, that was elected government earlier in 1948, but suddenly it converted into other way, not according to the democratic rules. When majority of the people, Sinhalas, give them order, make a declaration that if you adopt Buddhism, speak this language, that is Sinhalas, only then you will stay in Sri Lanka, otherwise you may leave the country. There is no place for you in the country. Now all the people were very terrified. You know that people who are living there, earlier there, they have this ethnic composition. Just now they have got independence, that is not far away from 1948 and 56 they have civil war. Abhi to itne time gap mein country can settle up its internal issues only, but that issue was not set up by this Sinhalas, majority, people who were in majority. Due to that there was civil war in 1956. The issue was that Buddhism and Sinhala, Buddhism, if you want to stay in Sri Lanka, you have to adopt your religion Buddhism. You have to speak language Sinhala only. Cannot speak your own language, and there is no mention of Muslims and Christians over there. That's why you know that in India we have many migrated people from Sri Lanka, right? Migrated people from Sri Lanka to India at that time also 1956. So that was the issue of civil war, and now I will try to sum up the things. In what way Sinhala community made this declaration, and if you want to stay, you have to speak this language, you have to adopt this religion only. Only then you can stay in Sri Lanka. Now the people were, that's why there was civil war. Got it? I am repeating because you may understand that this condition is majoritarianism. Otherwise it is majority. Bad form of democracy, mean to say when people who are in majority, right, people all they are from majority, they try to impose, suppress these people according to their own, right? So when majority rules, right? When majority rules in proper democracy, what happens there? There are two situations. There are two situations. What are these two situations? Number one, majority will rule on minorities, right? You can take it plural also here. And the second situation is that minorities should be ready to be ruled by majority. Okay, first is that majority will rule on the minorities, but at the same time minority should be ready to be ruled by majority. Then it is democracy. But when things are imposed upon them, then it is majoritarianism. Majority does not follow, majority does not appreciate and praise the minorities, right? So that's why it is called majoritarianism. Please don't get mix up democracy and majority and majoritarianism. All these are the majoritarianism. All these three, democracy and majority, that is somewhat correlated, and majoritarianism is entirely different word. You have to see that how majoritarianism was established in Sri Lanka. Okay, hopefully you have understood this. Once again I am telling you, I told you about only majoritarianism situation in Sri Lanka. Read, take care, stay home, stay safe. Thank you, students.